Good day and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Federal Road Safety Commission (FRSC) has confirmed 17 people died in an accident which occurred on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Yusuf Salami, the Oyo State Sector Commander of the Commission, confirmed this while briefing journalists on Sunday. Salami added that 79 persons were injured in the crash. The accident involved an articulated vehicle and a Peugeot J5 bus. Salami said the accident occurred due to overspeeding by both vehicles which were traveling from Ibadan to Lagos. The identity of the victims are yet to be verified. Labour unions in Nigeria have embarked on a nationwide protest over the 45% increase in electricity tariffs announced by the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission. The Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, civil society allies, and electricity consumers on Monday took to the streets to register their disapproval at the increase despite poor power supply. The increase was announced by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and it kicked off on February 1st. Organized Labour said that the protest had become necessary after all efforts to make the NERC shelve the idea of electricity tariff increase failed. Now, still on the protest by the labour unions in Nigeria, different power firms across the country have urged the body to stop the protest. One of such firms is the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, ANED. The group, in a statement released in Kano, urged the unions to support the power sector operators to improve electricity supply in the country. According to the group, Nigeria was witnessing an all-time high of 5,075 megawatts of electricity for the first time in the history of the nation's power sector. It said this is a demonstration that the sector has the capacity to meet the country's power needs. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission had approved electricity tariffs increase by between 9.16 naira and 14.80 naira effective from February 1st, 2016. A senator representing Borno Central has said Borno State is partly controlled by the Nigerian government and Boko Haram terrorists. This is, however, contrary to what Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari and military chiefs have said. The senator Kaka Gabai revealed this while speaking to journalists in Dalori, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. He was in Dalori to pay condolence to the residents of the village who were attacked on January 30th, which led to the death of over 100 people. Garbai said the Nigerian military and insurgents share control of over 21 local governments in the state. His statement may ruffle some feathers as the Nigerian government has maintained that the Boko Haram sect have no control of any community in that region. The army has also insisted that it has liberated all the territories captured by Boko Haram. More than 23,000 orphans taking refuge in internally displaced persons camp in Borno State will receive free education, the state government has said. Ahmed Satomi, the chairman of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, disclosed this on Sunday in Maiduguri. Satomi said the gesture was aimed at catering for the education of the vulnerable children who had no one to sponsor their education. The SEMA official explained that the agency, in collaboration with other non-governmental organizations, was doing everything possible to cater for the welfare of the orphan children. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has sent an appeal to access to information against what it describes as the World Bank's decision to provide patently insufficient information on the spending of recovered stolen funds by the late General Sani Abacha. The organization said it considered the decision a serious violation of the AI policy as it amounts to improper or unreasonable restriction to access of information. In the appeal dated February 5, 2016, SERAP said, quote, following receipt of several documents from the World Bank totaling over 700 pages, it had commenced independent investigation of several organizations, end of quote. Last year, SERAP called on President Muhammadu Buhari to investigate the role of the World Bank in the management of the money stolen by Abacha. Nigeria's finance minister has said the country is seeking loans from international agencies at a cheap rate. Kemi Adeosun said Nigeria wants to tap financing at concessionary rates as low as 1.5% from international agencies to fund infrastructure projects before returning to the Eurobond market. Nigeria, which is Africa's biggest economy, has held exploratory talks with the World Bank and looked at borrowing from the African and China Exim Bank to help fund a projected budget deficit of 3.3 trillion naira in 2016. The minister said Nigeria wanted to restructure existing short-term debt and align the government's investment plans with its budget, adding that projects undertaken would have to generate revenues to repay the loans. Nigerian Minister of Information Lai Mohammed predicted the country's GDP to increase to $2 trillion by the year 2030 if corruption can be reduced to the minimal level. The minister made the statement while addressing members of the Advertising Association of Nigeria, ADVAN. The minister also said it was achievable, especially due to the anti-corruption war embarked upon by President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigeria's Statistics Office has forecast economic growth to pick up to 3.78% this year and around 5% in 2017 as new projects take off. Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio averages a relatively low 14%. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at more top stories. Stay tuned.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few, I'm forever taking it personal. I will say 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? Brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we tell you. We did the way you did
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy. Hello,
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. Crude oil prices eased in thin trade on Monday as a meeting between OPEC producers Saudi Arabia and Venezuela showed little indication that steps would be taken to boost prices. Global benchmark Brent futures were down 8% at 8 cents at $34.98 a barrel, while U.S. crude futures fell by 23 cents to $30.66 a barrel. Both contracts firmed slightly earlier in the session on Monday. Saudi Arabia's oil minister Ali Al-Naimi discussed a cooperation between members of OPEC and other oil producers to steady the global oil markets, but there was no sign any agreement had been reached. Egyptian police shot dead 4 suspected Islamist militants inside a house a few miles from central Cairo. This is according to the Interior Ministry. This is the third of such incident in many weeks. The military said the men belonged to Ajnad Misr, a group that emerged in January 2014 and has targeted security forces in and around Cairo. The men were suspects in the killing of 2 policemen, a soldier and a civilian, and they were also suspected of blowing up a police vehicle and bombing a security checkpoint, this according to the Internal Ministry. Egypt is fighting an Islamist insurgency in Sinai that gained momentum in mid-2013 when the military ousted Muslim Brotherhood President Mohamed Morsi. Somali intelligence officials say 2 airport workers handed a laptop that concealed a bomb that later exploded in a Dallo Airlines plane last week. The Dallo chief executive on Monday also said the suspected suicide bomber was meant to be on a Turkish Airlines flight. The bomber was sucked out of the plane through the hole when the blast ripped open the cabin in mid-air, this according to officials. The pilot landed the plane in the Somali capital from where it had taken off. No group has so far taken responsibility for the attack, but a U.S. government official last week said the United States suspects Islamic militant group Al-Shabaab was responsible. Moving on to sports, Arsenal got their title bid back on track with a comfortable 2-0 victory at lowly Bournemouth in the Premier League on Sunday. A first win for Arsenal in 4 games took them level on 48 points with second-place Tottenham, their bitter local rivals who have a superior goal difference. Arsene Wenger's team, aiming for their first Premier League crown since 2014, hosts Leicester City next Sunday. Meanwhile, Manchester United were held to a 1-1 draw after conceding a stoppage time goal at Chelsea. Surprise package, Leicester City are 5 points clear at the top of the table after their 3-1 win at Manchester City on Saturday. Manchester United boss Louis van Gaal has responded angrily to talk about his future after it emerged that Jose Mourinho is in talks with the club. There have been reports that former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho could be set to take over at the United this summer. Asked about his future, 64-year-old Van Gaal accused media of inventing the story and said there was no need for United to issue any kind of denial. Van Gaal's contract runs until the end of next season. Well, we've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.